Today on Fresno State Focus, why some Fresno State students rack up thousands of miles each semester and how that affects the environment.
Plus, check out Fresno State's newest sports team, which already has big wins.
And in entertainment news, we go behind the scenes of a Pulitzer Prize-winning play being performed on campus. Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello, and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Matthew Criswell.
And I'm Courtney Carvalho. Students drive from all over the Central Valley to Fresno State, some racking up hundreds of miles a week. I'm one of them, and I wanted to find out what kind of impact all that driving has on our environment. Jesse Tejeda wakes up much earlier than most Fresno State students. For him, a trip to school can take an hour. Longer if there's rain, fog, or construction.
I get worried about the fact that there might be an accident and I push time really close. So if there's an accident and it's holding up the whole 99, then I'm gonna be late no matter what.
Tejeda commutes from Tulare to Fresno State 3 times a week. He's been doing it for the past 2 years and he has at least 2 more years to go. The trip can take 2 to 3 hours out of his day. While commuting saves him money on rent and food, because he lives with his parents, it's also hard on the environment. Environmental sciences professor Peter Vandewater says if more students carpooled, it would help bring down the carbon footprint from their cars.
Every single car is a little bit different. We can classify them into larger groups. So, light to medium-sized trucks have a particular carbon footprint.
Carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide that's released into the atmosphere by the burning of fossil fuels, in this case, gasoline. So this 100-mile trip that I take from Tulare to Fresno and back each day is adding about 67 pounds of CO2 to the atmosphere. To put that into perspective, I would need to plant at least 1 tree every 3 weeks to offset this amount of CO2. Graduate student Marisol Ornelas would rather not drive to Fresno from Orange Cove 5 days a week. Her advice to others, find a bunch of roommates in Fresno.
Probably getting together with friends they know and getting a place, because it'll be cheaper than commuting every day.
Cheaper, less of a hassle, and better for the environment. But for some students, the drive of getting a degree comes at any cost. And for them, commuting doesn't matter.
I can't believe you do that every day.
I know, I can't either. Honestly, the drive feels like 10 minutes, but unless there's traffic, it takes forever.
Speaking of traffic, there was a lot of traffic on Shaw Avenue last Tuesday. It was Kids Day, a very special day for many people around the valley. I caught up with one family as they were out selling papers, and they were very eager to share their story. Neymar Mendez was born with Down syndrome and a congenital heart defect, a common occurrence in children with Down syndrome. Shortly after he was born, he was also diagnosed with cancer. All of this before he reached age 2.
He's been through amazingly a lot. So him being here, we think a lot Valley Children's Hospital and all the doctors and staff.
Neymar is still going through treatment at Valley Children's Hospital and will continue to have regular visits with doctors for the next 5 years. He's become so much a part of the place, it was an easy decision when it came to choosing a Kids Day ambassador. His parents say they're grateful that they are able to be together as a family and support the hospital.
Well, it's really exciting. It's like, I don't know, it feels really good knowing that he went through so much and now he's going through stuff that's really good, happiness, like right now we're having a lot of fun and it's really nice.
Everyone connected with Valley Children's Hospital is able to benefit from it in many ways. Keeping the second largest children's hospital in California running on a daily basis takes a lot of money. Money that is raised during fundraisers like Kids Day. Over $350,000 was raised this last Tuesday, bringing the total amount of money raised over the 28 years of Kids Day close to $7 million. $7 million that is used to keep these doors open on a daily basis. People from all walks of life volunteer on Kids Day to help sell the newspapers and raise money for the hospital. Even those with busy schedules like Chief Jerry Dyer come out to help and support the very special cause. He understands just how important Valley Children's Hospital is.
It's so important that we do the things that are going to allow the medical sciences to advance and so that we can take care of our children. They are the most precious and important commodity that we have. Which is one reason why Kids Day is so successful. Here to tell us just how successful this year's Kids Day was is Molly Marquez,
the development lead for major events at the hospital. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
So another Kids Day is in the books. Is there a final amount on the amount of money that was raised this year?
I am so excited to share that we've actually beat our goal. We've set a new record and raised just over $535,000 for the hospital.
Okay, and is this money for the entire hospital or for a specific portion?
All of the dollars that we raised on Kids Day actually go into the Children's Fund, and that's a special fund at the hospital that allows us to keep certain programs going that aren't necessarily reimbursed through insurance, but that are incredibly important to the care of children, such as the Child Life Specialist Program or our Spiritual Support Services Program. They really increase the care that we're able to give.
So with this last Kids Day over, what does the future hold for fundraising at Valley Children's?
It'll continue. We just celebrated our 28th annual Kids Day, and we look forward to having many, many more to go. There can be a lot of negativity in the world, and just to have the community come together and support a cause, all together is just a really incredible thing to see, and it's very humbling. So thank you very much for Fresno State's involvement.
So speaking of a cause, I know that you guys put on the Harvest Ball, the annual Harvest Ball every year. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We do. This upcoming fall will be our 19th annual Harvest Ball, another traditional event for the hospital, and it's a black tie affair, gala dinner, silent and live auction. It's a ton of fun, and we're just really excited to get going on that for later in the year.
Okay. Thank you so much for being with us today. We've been talking with Molly Marquez, the development lead for Valley Children's Hospital.
Cheating in college has reached epidemic proportions. A recent survey found 43% of students admit some kind of cheating, but professors say it doesn't stop at the university level. Angelica Leilani attended a talk by a science journalist who was fired for plagiarism and fabrication.
To be honest, at the time, I didn't know it was wrong.
Jonah Lear was a best-selling author and science writer for The New Yorker until he got caught for plagiarism and fabrication.
They're both violations of pretty fundamental rules of journalism ethics. I would probably say what I did, fabricating quotes from Bob Dylan, is a bigger mistake, is a bigger sin than plagiarism.
Lear visited Fresno State last week to talk to journalism students about hard lessons. Philip Bonatti says he could tell Lear was apologetic.
I think his talk helped us realize the result of what we do when we lie and when we plagiarize our stories and fabricate.
This isn't the first time a journalist has made headlines for lying. Recently, Brian Williams was suspended for embellishing about an incident during the Iraq War.
I think you do lose a lot of credibility of a person, like if you find out someone so prestigious kind of cheated their way in. I think in this day and age, it's kind of easier for us to do that because we have so many resources.
Business major Cheyenne Ybarra is one of nearly 100 students who attended last week's plagiarism workshop at Fresno State. She says she was surprised to learn that taking your own words and reusing them is a form of plagiarism.
Right-click synonym will get you a plagiarism charge really, really fast.
Fresno State lecturer Judith Scott says cheating and plagiarism goes beyond the university. It continues in the real world.
The person that is checking your slides for cancer cells that cut corners in college won't cut them in the lab?
In the end, when it comes to cheating, you have to live with the choices you make. Angelica Leilani, Fresno State Focus.
It's tough enough finding a job. You don't want to do anything to lose it. Coming up, tips on getting that first job out of college.
Plus, get your appetite ready. We're checking out Fresno's finest food trucks.
I am Fresno State, and I'm going to show you why. Here's the beautiful and newly constructed Henry Madden Library, which has a massive collection. The Save Mart Center, which is our sports venue and one of the best attended in the entire country. We're absolute pioneers in the agricultural sciences, having led to the production of the first university winery and drawing in a diversity of students to achieve academic success over the past 100 years. And I wish I had time to tell you about everything else, but in reality, I think you're just going to have to come see for yourself.
As graduation nears, many students are getting anxious about what they will do after they earn their degree. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says the unemployment rate for recent college graduates is about 6%, but nearly 44% are underemployed. This means graduates are not immediately finding jobs that require the degree they worked so hard for. Career Services at Fresno State is trying to improve the employment rate.
Or even if they have declared a major that, maybe they're questioning, if they're a little unsure as to, well, what can I do with this major after graduation? Are there jobs that are related, career-related jobs to, within those majors? I definitely encourage students to use our services from day one.
Career Services specializes in the resume building and linking student graduates and alumni to employers, but they do much more than that. Here to tell us about it is Rita Cohen, the director of Fresno State's Career Services. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Career Services does for students?
Oh, we're a comprehensive career center, so we offer a plethora of services, everything from helping a student choose a major, decide whether they're on the right career path, learn about different occupations, prepare for those occupations, prepare for a job search, and connect with employers.
So does every student get like a one-on-one person to help them with their resume and talking to employers?
They can. We do have counselors in the office, and students can schedule individual appointments to address their specific needs.
So how many students would you say every semester graduate with a job right out of college with the help of Career Services?
That would be hard to estimate how many. I could tell you other statistics like we have 10,000 job seekers in a year that use our web-based job posting system, Bulldog Link. So there are a lot of students out there that use Career Services but don't realize they're actually connecting with our office. But they're not aware of all the other things that we offer, like practice interviews, live or online. We have a web-based system called Optimal Resume that has an interview module in it, and they can practice 24/7. I'm going to put a pitch in for that because I know many of our students need help with interviews and could benefit from practice, just from the information I get back from employers. And then we do the one-on-one appointments. We have job fairs. Sometimes they come to job fairs. We go out and we talk in the classrooms and do workshops and presentations. So I know that we directly connect with about 25% of the student population through our outreach on a regular basis. The in-person appointments are much lower. We average somewhere around 2,000 or so appointments in a year, an academic year.
Oh, wow. All right. We've been talking with Rita Cohen, the Director of Career Services at Fresno State. If you'd like to jump on your job search, you can find Career Services in the Thomas Building in room 103.
One former Fresno State student has found a pretty good job for himself. He is the owner of Benediction, one of the food trucks you see around Fresno. Jess Ann Stymons shows us what Fresno's food trucks have to offer.
Food trucks are a new way of eating here in the local communities of Fresno. Food truck and restaurant owner of Benedictions, James Caples, says he has always wanted to have a food truck.
Opening a food truck just seemed so much more feasible at the time. It wasn't going to require hundreds of thousands of dollars. It wasn't going to require huge amounts of staff training and everything else. It just was me, another guy, and my food.
Caples is known for his Eggs Benedict and the truck with the egg and bacon guitar. You can find Benedictions at Gazebo Gardens Friday and Saturday nights, and Enzo's Place Saturday and Sunday mornings, along with other local food trucks. Liz Sanchez can be found with her tamales from Casa de Tamales.
We share information, we share events, we share venues. It is very much like a family. You have 4, 5, 6 different options at a venue, then it draws in a crowd.
Sanchez has over a dozen different homemade tamales with vegetarian vegan options.
The local food truck community continues to spread their culinary secrets throughout Fresno.
Fresno State alumnus says he was not planning on stopping by the food trucks, but one truck caught his eye.
We like Benediction. We know Benediction because we like their Eggs Benedict. So we were driving, actually just going to go have a breakfast burrito, and we realized, we saw this, we said, hey, let's go and pull over. So we pulled over.
If you drive by a bunch of food trucks in town, Don't be afraid to stop by and see the variety of food that is offered and have a bite. Jan Steinman, Fresno State Focus.
Coming up in sports, wrestling is finally coming back to Fresno State. We'll have more details coming up.
Plus, find out how one of our Fresno State seniors is getting ready for Pro Day. Stay tuned for sports with Rodney Matthews.
So you decided to go to Fresno State. Good for you. But you were too insecure to show Fresno State pride? That's a problem. Because you never bothered to show pride in your school, you are shunned by other students. Professors can smell the stench of impending failure on you and take no pity. Even the mass communication students agree you have no future. But all of this could have been avoided if you simply showed your pride for Fresno State.
I am Fresno State.
Fresno State pride. Show it or face the consequences.
I am and always will be.
Really excited but focused. So I'm excited. This is my 4th year, but I'm just really focused on the game.
That was senior Raven Fox after her last game in the Save Mart Center. With all the excitement that comes with senior night, the women's basketball team came to play on Friday night. And now they are focused on the Mountain West tournament. The Dogs are 22-8 on the season and are surging forward in pursuit of their 8th straight NCAA tournament bid. Fresno State beat Wyoming in the second round of the tournament last night and will face New Mexico in the semifinals tonight. The winner of that game advances to the conference championship game. The team hasn't lost a Mountain West tournament game since joining the conference in 2012. Last month, Fresno State's new athletic director talked about what needs to happen to bring back the wrestling program, which was dropped from Fresno State Athletics in 2006. Joshua Robinson tells us even though it's 2 or 3 years down the road, wrestling is being welcomed back with open arms.
The Fresno State Wrestling Club has 6 state champions, and they're still practicing here at Hoover High School. Cramped in this tiny room, the wrestlers do their best to learn and grow together. So when Jim Bartko announced his plan to bring wrestling back to Fresno State, Adam Wong was thrilled, not only for his club, but for the community.
It's such a relief because there's so many people that want to stay in the area, stay at home, and wrestle.
Wong says that even though the school's program may take support from his club, he sees more benefits than problems, especially in terms of having bigger and better facilities. Dennis DeLito has been central to wrestling's return. The 24-year wrestling coach has been fighting to bring it back to Fresno ever since 2006, and he credits President Castro for finally putting things into motion.
It's all dollars and cents, I know that. I mean, and I can't buck that, and Castro's made a bold move by adding 2 sports. And, it's a bold move, and he's made it real clear. He wants to be known as somebody who did something bold. Nobody adds wrestling back. It's unheard of. This is nationwide. This is so big you can't believe it.
Only 80 colleges in the country still have Division I wrestling programs. So if Jim Bartko is going to reinstate wrestling at Fresno State, he knows he's setting an example at the national level.
A lot of people will be looking at this and how effective this is. We don't want to add sports, and 2 years ago we can't afford it, we're dropping them again. We're going to do it the right way.
With a solid plan in place, Fresno and its wrestling community can rest assured that wrestling will have a safe home in Fresno once again. Joshua Robinson, Fresno State Focus.
Here today we have one of the football team's senior leaders from this past season, and you'll definitely recognize number 43 with all that hair. Carl Mickelson is here today to talk to us about his pro day preparations. Carl, thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
First off, how exactly are you training for pro day?
I'm actually training here in Fresno. I'm training at a gym called Athletic Performance in Clovis, in Old Town. It's on Clovis Avenue. So we're training there at the facility. We're training twice a day, 10 o'clock in the morning and then 2 o'clock in the daytime. So it's a lift and then it's a run.
That sounds intense.
Yeah.
Is there any particular drill you're looking forward to?
Actually, I'm looking forward to everything. I'm excited for just the whole pro day. I'm looking forward to the bench test because I feel like I got way stronger than I used to be, and I'm looking forward to the L drill. It's a pro agility drill, so I'm kind of excited for that because I've been really preparing for that, one of those drills.
Nice. Have any teams come in contact with you yet?
I'm not sure as in contacting me, but I know for sure they've been contacting my agent. My agent's been telling me he's been getting phone calls from different teams and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm just letting my agent handle that, and I'm just worried about training right now. And, you know, yeah.
Is there anything you're doing on the side in terms of recovery, eating right, anything extra that you're doing besides training?
Besides training, I'm finishing up my last semester here at Fresno State, so I'm still attending school, and I'm still part of it's a community service program we have for student athletes at Fresno State. It's called Big Heroes, Little Heroes, and you know, we just have like a little hero from the Children's Hospital, and we just get to hang out with them and go bowling. So I've been doing this as a freshman year, so I mean, that's something else I'm doing on the side as well.
That sounds good. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Carl.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Once again, you can watch Carl and other seniors perform in front of the Scouts on March 25th. A Fresno State alum is definitely giving back to the community by coaching, teaching, and leading people of all ages. As a former Fresno State football player, this Bulldog knows how to use his Christian background to motivate and inspire on a daily basis.
Lauren Bell is a proud Bulldog who is an active leader in the Fresno-Clovis area. Among the multiple groups he leads, there is always one constant theme: keep Christ first. One of the groups Lauren leads is Fresno State's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Fresno State swimmer Haley Baldwin talks about what FCA is all about.
It's just a great way as athletes to remember why we're here and who we're really working towards and who we should honor in our sports and with school and in life.
Whether it's picking off Colin Kaepernick or even making a big hit, Lauren says he likes his style of play to translate into the way he coaches his players by making sure that sportsmanship and teamwork are core values, but Christ always comes before anything else. Not only does Lauren make sure that his players get taught the proper techniques and mechanics of the game, but he makes sure that they also know that in the game of football and in life, it's much more than just simple X's and O's. In total, Lauren leads FCA, a coach's Bible study group, coaches middle school football at Clark Intermediate, and still makes sure that he's a loving father and husband. Matt Brown attends both his FCA and Bible study group and discusses what attracts people to Lauren.
People are drawn to a person like him because he's real and he's honest. He's a person that just has such great integrity.
Lauren ensures that he focuses on the spiritual growth of the kids before any victories come in play.
Treat these kids right and put them first, and make sure that we are transformational coaches and not transactional coaches where we're just trying to get stuff out of our kids. We're really trying to have an impact on their lives.
Lauren definitely is making an impact on their lives, and one thing is certain: Lauren Bell will forever be Bulldog born, Bulldog bred.
And that's all we have for sports today. Now let's check in with Citlali Ocampo with entertainment news. Citlali?
Thanks, Rodney. Thirsty Thursdays are back in action this semester. ASI members put together an event for students to have some fun and hang out. You can also win free meals and other prizes.
It originated last year, and we realized that a lot of college students participate in the event Thirsty Thursday. And so what we want to do is provide a safe means for students to enjoy the Fresno State campus and a lot of things that it does provide.
This event is hosted at The Bucket. There is also a special menu during Thirsty Thursdays. It happens every first Thursday of the month from 5 to 8 p.m. A 2012 Pulitzer Prize winning play that confronts addiction and technology will be shown in the Central Valley for the first time, and it's happening right here at Fresno State. I got a chance to go behind the scenes to see how the theater department is putting it all together.
On a minefield.
Faculty Director Kathleen McKinley has been a drama professor for 32 years. She has directed over 50 plays at Fresno State. The most recent play, titled Water by the Spoonful, takes place in the real and cyber world, something McKinley says she is unfamiliar with.
My students absolutely understood what was going on from the first day of rehearsal, but for me to really believe, can people have that really intimate connection via the internet without ever meeting someone? Was something for me to explore.
The play follows the journey of a Puerto Rican Iraq war veteran named Elliot as he struggles to come back to society while dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. When his adopted mother dies, he is forced to interact with his birth mother named Odessa, who is head of an online chat room for recovering addicts. Amanda Valdez, who plays Odessa, says this is not a pretty play.
It's probably the first play I've done that has been so real, just so in your face, and no apologies, you know, but there's something beautiful about it. There's something beautiful about these characters in their desperation and their vulnerability. There's light to the darkness, and I think everyone will understand and grasp that.
Fresno State is one of the few schools to have the rights to this play. Playwright Kiaira Hiriahudes won the Pulitzer for it in 2012, which is one of the reasons the school is expecting such a big turnout. For gerontology and public health student Beth Livingood, the play hits close to home, as her husband is a recovering heroin addict, which is why she decided to buy 2 tickets.
I usually go to meetings with my husband, so I only know what goes on at the meetings. But a chat room kind of thing, I thought that would be interesting to see, and then for my husband to see as well.
Water by the Spoonful will be performed in the Woods Theater beginning this Friday until March 21st. Celebration of the annual Amarilla Week focuses on Laotian tradition and culture. The club hosted an event last week spotlighting Asian Americans, their heritage, struggles, and accomplishments.
There's like separate nights, and they host like events, like they either can dance, sing, perform. It doesn't matter what they do, it just has something to do with their culture.
Everyone who participated in the event dressed in traditional Laos attire to make it more meaningful. The event was a sneak peek for the big Lao Heritage Night that will take place at Fresno State's Satellite Student Union on Sunday, April 26th. And that's it for entertainment.
So you guys excited to go to Thirsty Thursdays now that it's back?
Yeah.
Very excited about that, just to check out the new special menu items and maybe win a prize.
Yeah, I mean, prizes, menu, like, I mean, the bucket's already good, and now we have different prizes and more food.
Yeah, definitely want to check that out.
Well, yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go to the play.
Yeah, we definitely need to go check out the play too.
Yeah,
we
they
should
can go to Thirsty Thursday and we can go to the play.
We'll maybe hit the play after. With the play after Thirsty Thursdays.
Yeah. You guys can meet us up.
The play's supposed to be really good though.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, and it looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Looks like a very deep subject.
Yeah, it definitely is, which is why it is a contemporary play. It's not something theater usually does. So
yeah, it's important with all the vets that we have in the area too. I think as well, it's very relevant, and I like that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Can you tell us a little more about the Amarilla? It sounds like a really fun event. Like, it sounds exciting.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good to see how Asian culture is here in the Valley. So I think it's a really good thing.
All right, next week on Fresno State Focus, we'll tell you why people are bowling to help youth.
Plus, why an organization is asking for pennies for pets.
Also, see how a football camp in Hanford is helping Valley kids play their best.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.